Summerlin is a master planned community located in the western part of the Las Vegas Valley. The suburbs occupy 22,500 acres with residential, commercial, recreational, educational, and medical uses. The area is home to many middle-income families, and it is reported that the average annual household income of the area is $139,000. Using John Bonner Elementary School as our reference point, we examined the walking, transit, and biking score of the area. We noticed that the walk score of the area was fairly low, with a rating of 16 out of 100. The residential area also received a transit score of 27 and a bike score of about 47 out of 100. As we drove through the area around the elementary school, we drove by our first pedestrian crosswalk. While driving by, we noticed that the painted pedestrian crossing lanes were faded. The RTC's Complete Street Guidelines recommend that pedestrian crossings, especially those for school, have highly visible crosswalks. As we passed by Bonner Elementary School, we noticed that the landscaping surrounding the school were properly maintained and the trees provided shade for families that walk and bike to school. The school also had a designated drop-off and pickup zone for vehicles to drive up to the curb and drop their child off safely. This is a necessary feature because it allows the children to have a safe access route to school without having to cross the street. As we left the school, we noticed that the painted street lanes were faint and could be further maintained. At the end of the street, we came across one of many three-way intersections in Summerlin. This specific intersection contained a crosswalk in which the major lane is designed to have the speed limit of 45 miles per hour. Summerlin is also known for the multiple roundabouts within the community. During our tour around the area, we came across 3 large roundabouts. The ones we encountered correctly and accurately followed the Complete Street Guidelines by providing a pedestrian crossing 1 car length away from the circulating roadway, including splitter islands and medians allows pedestrians to select smaller gaps and cross more quickly. On this main road, we encountered our first public transit. On this bike stop, the area had a clear side bench for seating, and the landscape and the surrounding trees provided shade from the sun. We only observed this one bus stop during our audit, and looking at the RTC website, we noticed that throughout the entire area, the transit system was only stationed on the main road of Town Center Drive. We suggest that the streets continue to include more bus stops within the area, especially since Summerlin is a car-dependent community. Including additional access to transit stops also corresponds with the Complete Streets Guidelines. The other roads within the area had a conventional bike lane. However, the designated painted bike lane divisions were faint and needed retouching. The specific street matches the NACDO policy by ensuring that this bike lane had less than 3,000 motor vehicle average daily traffic.
As we entered our first housing subdivision, we noticed that the neighborhoods in this area typically had a single entry community. Many of the other housing subdivisions also had gated entryways, which provided a limitation on active transportation. According to the goals of the Southern Nevada Regional Plan, the transportation matrix encourages communities to increase street connectivity and connect people to their destination. We also noticed that this area lacked mixed housing units. Southern Nevada Strong strategy further explains this idea by encouraging an adequate supply of housing with a range of prices, density, ownership, size, building types.
Summerlin had an abundance of green spaces and parks. However, many of these green spaces were privately reserved for golfing and require a membership with the multiple country clubs in the area. We audited 2 parks that were open to the public and accommodated families of all ages. Oxford Park is directly adjacent to Bonner Elementary School and contains multiple sports areas including baseball, football, and soccer. A list of rules and guidelines were included near the parking lot, and a convenient dog waste area was placed around the walking trail to promote cleanliness. Although we rarely saw litter and graffiti, the park did have a solo incident of tree defacements. With about a 15-minute walk or a 6-minute bike ride, the next park we audited had similar amenities. Tables and benches provided for outdoor recreational activities, and a well-maintained walking trail surrounded the green spaces of the park. A children's playground was under a large shade structure to allow children to play and get physically active at any time of the day. Using Bonner Elementary School as our reference, the closest shopping complex is about half an hour walking distance. This compound contained multiple fast food options such as McDonald's, Einstein Bagels, and Starbucks coffee. This is also where the closest grocery store is. The Albertsons in this area had fresh fruits and produce, quality seafood and meat options, and the items displayed were clean, and the store advertised fresh food options. The closest convenience store in the area was a 7-Eleven, which also had a gas station. From what we observed during our audit, the convenience store mostly operated as a gas station and car wash center. We also noticed that this 7-Eleven did not offer any fresh food options and instead provided quick and unhealthy sugary snacks and drinks.
The Building Healthy Places Toolkit suggests that communities invest in physical activity. Luckily, this area has a gym that contains a cardio studio, a weight room, an indoor swimming pool, and programs to promote an active lifestyle. The Summerlin Hospital is conveniently located at the center of the community to provide for health needs and to allow for quick response from emergency personnel. If you drive further west, you may see undeveloped land that could potentially use the idea of retrofitting suburbia. The area could potentially include multi-family housing complexes, while also implementing a fully functional complete streets program that allows for a variety of transportation motives. We suggest that this undeveloped land be further investigated prior to construction to promote a healthy lifestyle and a healthy built environment.